this time, men should remove their caps and women may leave theirs on. Please pray with me. O Holy One, in restless, creative energy, you hover over us gathered here in this time of transition and joy, of uncertainty and ripeness. In the unknown and the yet to be, you step forward boldly, calling us to follow with hope and trust in ourselves and in you. It's not a given that we feel up to the task, and more often than not, we hold back, convinced that we are too small. But you call us beyond ourselves and toward each other, and by that connectedness, you make us more than who we think we are. We are grateful for this community that continues to form us, for the faculty and staff who challenge our students and each other to turn good thinking into helpful action, for the students who challenge us to share their vision and meet their ideals, for the housekeeping and maintenance and support staff who make this such a wonderful place to live and work and study, for this community that supports and nurtures and builds. We give you thanks for all of these. As we celebrate this community and our graduates who have made us so proud, open our hearts to your call as you beckon us forward. Give us the courage and trust to go, grateful for where we have been and ripe for this new season. Amen. You may be seated.
I'd like to start by thanking the band and the choir. Many of their members stayed beyond the time they would normally leave just to be here for us today. Thank you for making this such a beautiful afternoon with your music. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the 180th commencement for Hanover College. I also want to welcome those who are watching this ceremony on live stream. I know there are some grandparents and friends who could not be with us, but because of technology, they are a part of today. It is a glorious day here in Hanover, and for the first time in as long as any of us can remember, we're not sweating under the heat of the sun. I recently invited graduates to bring their families by the President's home after graduation to get a cold drink and a snack before you leave campus. I hope all of you have a chance to do that. It's just down the walk as you exit. So please stop by. It gives us one more chance to say goodbye. We continue the tradition today that ties all of your experiences at Hanover to the point where your education began and where you celebrate this special occasion. In fact, the point has become central to so many people's lives. It appears in wedding pictures and special occasions. Just yesterday, I found 4 of our students sitting on the point at 6 a.m. watching the sunrise one more time. This is only the second year that we have placed a mace on the stage to officially begin this ceremony. The origin of the mace dates back to medieval times, and in the 16th century, the mace became a symbol of authority and was embraced as a ceremonial object by colleges and universities. Academic protocol dictates that the mace is carried by the Grand Marshal, or in our case, the Senior Faculty Marshal, who this year is Dr. Robert Rosenthal. The legal authority of the college is grounded in the intellectual authority of distinguished faculty. Thus, the faculty actually open the ceremony with the presentation of the mace. Placing the mace on its stand is a signal that the proceedings are about to come to order, and its removal indicates that the ceremonies are concluded. I would like to welcome another graduating class this afternoon. For the second time in Hanover's history, we have invited back to this commencement ceremony a class who is celebrating the 50th anniversary of their graduation. This year, that is the class of 1963. We are so pleased they have joined us, and as I call your name, would you please stand? Robert Durrett, Deanne Hood Durrett, Jerry Fiesel, Jim Helms, Tom Hill, Nancy Carr Hollingworth, Dwight Nelson, Charlotte Mosier Payton. Thank you for joining us and celebrating the 50th anniversary of your own graduation. A lot has changed, but what remains the same are the relationships and the friendships and the mentoring relationships, and I'm so glad you've come back to be together again. They will be celebrating their 50th reunion this year at homecoming. I also want to recognize the special gift that the senior class has given Hanover. Each year, the senior class committee solicits ideas from the class and selects a gift to give the college they believe future students will enjoy. This year's class donated an arboretum, which would be located near the shoebox. Students worked very hard on this project, and I want them to know that the college will be forever grateful for their efforts. They have started the practice of giving back to those who will follow in their footsteps, just as they have benefited from those who came before them. This morning, families were given an opportunity to buy a brick for a walk around the trees that will be planted, so your son or daughter's name will be permanently on Hanover grounds. And if students or families still want to be a part of this wonderful effort, please respond to the letter that you will receive in the mail in the next couple of weeks if you didn't get a chance to do it today. Every student at Hanover is supported in part from gifts of alumni and friends of the college. Because those who came before you care so much about your education, you have enjoyed the benefit of scholarships, funding for travel abroad, improved facilities like the gift we just celebrated with the Withrow Student Activities Center. Thank you for continuing that Hanover practice. Sometimes giving back is like planting an acorn that eventually grows into a tree others will enjoy sitting under. As alumni, I will enjoy welcoming you back to Hanover at homecoming, at the fall gala, even the Halloween party. You are invited. These traditions have been added to many others, like the spring term off-campus trips that so many of you have just returned from, drives down Scenic Drive and through Clifty Falls, hiking through Happy Valley, the run for Greek pledging, dinner with faculty members, the spring wiffle ball. But most of all, you will remember the friendships you have made here and the lifelong mentoring relationships you have with faculty and staff. That is what will call you back to this bluff overlooking the Ohio River Valley, and we will be here waiting to hear from you because, after all, you will always be a part of the Hanover family. That family is made up of professors and staff members who have worked with you over the past 4 years to see you succeed. Would all of the Hanover College faculty and staff please stand, and would the graduates join me in letting them know how much we appreciate the efforts on your behalf? Faculty and staff, wherever you are, please stand. The support you get from the Hanover family is only exceeded by your personal family members. I would like to ask all the family members of our graduates to stand so our graduates can let you know how much you mean to them and to thank you for your support for these past 4 years and throughout their lives. Would the family of the Hanover graduates please stand? Thank you. There's another group that are scattered around the campus, and those are the physical plant employees who have been working tirelessly all this week to prepare this campus for you and to get everything set up so this could be a glorious day. And we must recognize their efforts because they work at odd hours. They will be here late tonight, and we so appreciate all the things that they've done. It has been my pleasure, as well as my husband Mike's, to be a part of your experience at Hanover. We have watched you perform on the court, the field, and on the stage. We have eaten in your Greek houses and in the dining room with you. Many of you have eaten in our home with us. Because you have shared a part of your experience with me, it will forever be a part of my life. Some years at graduation, we have an outside speaker. Some years, all of the speakers are part of the Hanover family. This year, members of the Hanover family will be your speakers. Your senior student speaker, our Board of Trustee chair, and your president. And so we begin with your senior speaker. It has been our tradition to have our senior speaker selected by the senior committee of the graduating class. They use a rigorous application and audition practice involving submitting outlines anonymously and then being selected for the audition. The final selection is made by the senior committee after hearing all the finalists. From the outstanding auditions, Madison Guy was chosen. Maddie is from Monticello, Indiana, and will graduate today with a communication major and a business scholar. Maddie is a member of the Chi Omega sorority, where she served as their Pan-Hellenic delegate. She participated in planning community service projects like Make-A-Wish Foundation, silent auction, volleyball tournament, campus fashion show. She's been very active in Love is Needed by Kids, or LINK, College Mentor for Kids, Colleges Against Cancer, planned the Relay for Life Cancer Walk for the community, and raised money throughout the year for the American Cancer Society. After graduation, Maddie plans to move to Chicago to pursue a career in event planning. Please welcome your senior speaker, Madison Guy.
I'd like to say my heart is beating out of my chest right now, so laugh because it's supposed to be funny. All right, that's a good start. Okay. I'm not going to start out by singing Green Day's Time of Your Life or Vitamin C's Graduation, I'm not going to tell you about how college is just another stepping stone or a chapter in the book of life, because we've all heard it before. I think we're very well aware that because we are sitting in these black robes today, we have made it to graduation. If you notice, though, that the reason these songs or metaphors are chosen is because they talk about the end. I, however, am going to take a different spin on this. For those of you who don't know me, I am a huge movie and music fan and will do anything to quote it. These are the famous last words of our society's popular films, books, and music. Casablanca. Louis, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. E.T. I'll be right here. Love Story. Love means never having to say you're sorry. And Terminator. I'll be back. This is good. Even in Shakespeare, parting is such sweet sorrow. Or how about the lyrics, I will remember you, will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by, weep not for the memories. And even though I said I wouldn't, who can forget the popular graduation song, it's something unpredictable and in the end it's right, I hope you had the time of your life. It goes without saying that our society is infatuated with films, books, music, but especially television. We watch some television shows from the time the pilot is aired all the way until the final credits fade away. It is so often it's the final episode that stands out to us, though, because they're able to say exactly what we're feeling about its ending. Let's take the Golden Girls, for example. What can you say about 7 years of fights, laughter, secrets, cheesecake? Just that it's been an experience that I'll keep very close to my heart, and those are memories that I'll wrap myself in when the world gets cold and I forget that there are people who are warm and loving, or my personal favorite, friends. None of the amazing things that have happened to me in the last 10 years would have happened if it weren't for you. Or from our very own Hanover student, Woody from Cheers. All I know is my life wouldn't be nothing if it wasn't for you guys. You people are as dear to me as my own family, more so in fact. It is perhaps eschatology, which is just a fancy word for our fascination with the end. I don't know about the rest of you, but I personally have been preparing myself for the end of college since last year. Maybe it was for the thrill of knowing that there was going to be a graduation and a new step in life. Or maybe it was because I knew that this was going to be one of the hardest things I've had to deal with in my life so far, and it was easier to start talking about it as soon as possible. It's similar to that of a season of our favorite TV show. A new season starts, but almost the first thing we can think of is, man, I wonder how this is going to end. But the thing is, when it does all end, all we can think about is how sad or disappointed we are that it's actually over. It is almost uncanny how similar our 4 years of college are to that of a television series. We, like a TV show, start out with a little uncertainty. When a new TV show is getting ready to air, the cast, the producers, the costume designers are keeping their fingers and toes crossed in the hopes that their new show will take off. In our case, this pilot or testing period is August experience. Our parents, or the producers, if you will, drop us off in college in the hopes that we don't end our career within the first week. We, the cast, try hard to make friends, hope to God our roommate's normal, thank you, Audrey, and hope that Hanover was, in fact, the right choice for us. This is where we meet our audience or our friends. These are the people we hope will be with us until the end. These are the people we hope to share our memories, our laughter, and unfortunately our drama with. Nonetheless, the pilot takes off and the show gets signed on for at least one season, or in our case, freshman year. As a cast, we see some bumps in the road during this first season. The cast of Hanover may make some questionable decisions, may say some things that are a little offensive, and may even dismiss a few cast members. Every episode may not be as good as the last, but even so, each episode is a part of our story. Without each little bump in the road, our plot would not be the same. This first year is crucial. If the show doesn't gain enough popularity with the audience, the show is canceled. I know my mom told me if I didn't like Hanover within the first year, I could transfer. With us, if Hanover isn't everything we dreamed it would be, we could decide to go elsewhere. We decide that we do like Hanover and like to see another season. Everyone enjoys the season finale, or spring term, and says goodbye for the summer. Season 2. This year, we are familiar with the characters, the setting, and the plot. At Hanover, we are finally off the bottom of the totem pole. We sort of understand the layout of the land, know which characters to avoid, and have a good base of friends and audience. It is smooth sailing. This year, we may lose some cast members and gain some new ones. Relationships begin to develop, as does the plot in our lives at Hanover. A big event this year happens, though, that could make or break the show. A decision made by the cast, or perhaps the producers, that will shape the way the rest of the series evolves. Maybe it's killing off one character or introducing a new one. At Hanover, it's taking some classes and dropping the others. I'm talking about the selection of our majors. Like I said, this is a decision that could make or break our college career. If it's one we like, fantastic. However, if we choose when we find out it's something we're not really interested in, well, the show goes on. Again, spring term comes and we say goodbye to our friends for the summer. Season 3. This year, our show is thriving. The ratings have never been better. At Hanover, we are finally upperclassmen. We are taking the courses we want to, living with the people we want to, and in our case, thank God the food got better. Everything is going well until right after Christmas break, we get an email. Our final season is drawing near, and our show has been signed on for just one more season. It's time to apply for graduation. This is the first time for most of us that the thought of ever leaving Hanover enters our mind. Panic ensues. How will we get to do everything we want to in just 3 more semesters? How can we wrap everything up? The same thoughts develop when we find out our favorite TV show is only going to be on for one more season. How will Rachel and Ross ever get together? Nonetheless, the end is in sight. The final season. I don't know about you, but for me, when I got back to school for the last time, the song that kept replaying in my head was, "It's the final countdown." Everyone from the cast, the audience, and the producers know what's coming at the end of this season. From both television and Hanover's perspectives, the thoughts are, this has to be the best season yet. We need to go out with a bang. This season starts off like any other, but with a bit of bittersweetness. It's another season of our favorite TV show, another year at Old Hanover. But as the Facebook statuses and tweets continuously reminded us, this is the last first day, the last choir concert, my last football game. It seems as though this season we are constantly reminded of the end, whether it's the countdown on your computer, your parents ever so sweetly nagging, that you need to get a job, or maybe it's the fact that people are asking you what you're doing after college. This is the part I mentioned before. We are obsessive over the end. I know I personally have cried many tears over the thought of leaving Hanover, and on the other hand, some people are thinking, get this show over with. With the end approaching faster than anyone could possibly imagine, we begin to say our goodbyes and maybe even slightly adjust to the thought of not having the comfort of going back to the place where everybody knows your name. Still at this moment, even as I stand before you, I can barely believe it myself. How will we go on without it, without our favorite TV show? These people we have grown to know and love and have shared more memories than we could have ever imagined. But as they say, all good things must come to an end, and it's our final episode, our graduation day. That's today. After this, Hanover is done, just like that last episode. You hope that the ends tied up the way you wanted them to, and that even though it's over, your friends and audience will still be there for you, that you saw everything you wanted to see. You know that with a TV show, even though you want to see how the characters continue to grow and develop, it's sort of left to your imagination. Now, this is where my little metaphor starts to fizzle. The beauty of real life is that we do get to see how our characters continue to grow and develop and how everyone's life is doing after college. Thank God for Facebook. Even though not everyone may have seen every episode of Friends, Golden Girls, or Cheers, or ever even heard the songs I mentioned 6 minutes ago, they are a part of our history, just like Hanover. Our class, whether we saw a face or heard a name one time, or maybe even for the first time today, whether we had great works with them 4 years ago, or whether we've been with them since the beginning, they are a part of our story at Hanover. We are the class of 2013, a series of our own. Again, just like a television show, there are always reruns, just as there are always homecomings. Even though Hanover is done in the sense of 8 a.m. classes and dinner from 5 to 7, it still continues on in our memory. I would like to end with one final quote of Cheers, which I feel has a special tie to good old Hanover. You know no one wants to be the first to say it, but I'm not ashamed to admit what I think we're all feeling. Time goes by so fast, people move in and out of your lives. You must never miss an opportunity to tell these people how much they mean to you. For me, how do you sum up 4 wonderful years of college? How will you explain the many memories, the traditions, spring terms, to anyone? Hanover is a place that those who only truly experience it are able to understand and appreciate it. No one will ever understand the bond we as Hanoverians have and the extreme closeness each little group of the cast has with one another. For me, Hanover has meant more to me than I could have ever imagined. It is my friends, my family, and my home. Congratulations, class of 2013.
Great job, Benny. Joining us today is the chair of the Hanover College Board of Trustees, Philip Scott. Phil is a graduate of Hanover, as is his wife Ronnie, who is in the audience. Phil earned his law degree from the University of Kentucky School of Law. After serving in the U.S. Marine Corps, he returned to Lexington. He serves as partner and co-chairman of the Bingham, Greenbaum, Dahl law firm in the firm's Lexington office. He is a member of the litigation practice group and is a trial lawyer. He represents business clients in federal and state courts and in administrative proceedings. Phil has significant experience in equine and health care matters. He is an excellent example of how a Hanover degree can put you on the path to success. And I want to publicly thank him and all the trustees of this college for their loyalty to Hanover, for the extraordinary amount of time and energy they put into making Hanover better every day. Please welcome Phil Scott.
Bring you greetings from the Board of Trustees. This is the day that all those groups that make up the Hanover family join together and celebrate the graduation of the senior class. When I was a graduating senior, I probably didn't know that there was a Board of Trustees, much less what it did. Our job is to establish policies and provide oversight and direction and set the goals for this college. The administration of the college provides the foundation for the operation of the school, and the faculty provides the most important function, the teaching and education of our students. We truly have an outstanding faculty. For you graduates, they will remain important to you for years to come. Serving on the Board of Directors or Board of Trustees are doctors, lawyers, educators, and business people of all types. Most, but not all, are graduates of Hanover College. The trustees are a diverse group. They live all over this country. By the way, the trustees have provided about 40% of the funds pledged and collected for the Live Your Loyalty campaign. I'm told that that's about somewhere between $8 and $9 million so far. It's expected that all of the Hanover family will participate in the campaign and our annual fund drive, and that includes each of you graduates. And I may stand at the end of the line here and hand you a card and you can send your checks back in. But we will need your help. It is you all, and by the way, I had no clue I was ever going to give a nickel to the school when I was in your shoes and in your position, but it's important. It's the future of your school, and it will make a difference. Now, on behalf of the board, I'd like to recognize two student representatives who have served on the Board of Trustees and wish them success as they graduate today. Brian Reuter and Bob Waldrum. We're going to miss both of you all. It's been great having students participate in the Board of Trustees activities. It's important, just as we have faculty and others participating. Now, just a brief word to the graduating seniors. You've received a liberal arts education at Hanover College. You've been introduced to a wide variety of subjects. In today's world, this education is going to prove invaluable to you. You haven't been trained solely in one field that might disappear tomorrow. You've been taught to think. I didn't appreciate what a liberal arts education was until I was 39 years old. I was at the time in the middle of the empty quarter in Arabia. It was a call to prayers. My first close contact with men of the Islamic faith. That night we spoke about our faith, we talked about our culture, and we talked about family. If I hadn't been instructed at Hanover in religion, philosophy, history, and the classics, I wouldn't have had any basis or foundation to have the discussion. But I did have that discussion with the rulers of that country. And it turned out that my least favorite course, and I know they're not here, so I won't embarrass them, religion turned out to be the most important course I took. just to understand the difference in religions with folks all over the world. You have to remember, not everybody in the world is an American and wants to be an American. There's a whole wide variety of folks out there, and I hope you travel and enjoy meeting different people in different cultures. You've been educated to do exactly that. Now, that night was when the light bulb went off for me. And I understood a little bit about what education I had received. Now, if you notice that, it took me 19 years. I hope the light bulb goes off for each of you a little quicker. Plan and take measure of what you intend to accomplish. Let me give you an example of this. Maddie, if you'd step up. This is a tape measure, and this is for the graduates. I realize the people in the back can't see the tape measure. But let's put it out to 90, and that's each inch is 1 year. Each of you are probably 21 or 22 years old. Let's take that up. That's how much of the rest of your life that you have to live and plan for and succeed. You've got all that time. I hope that you will have that light come on during this period. I hope you'll continue to study and learn. That's what your Hanover education has taught you. It started you on your life's journey, and I wish each of you much success in your life, in your careers. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil. What a great example of being in an international environment and reflecting back on what you learned at Hanover and how that helped you. That's terrific. Since this is my last time to have a parting word with our graduates, I want that word to be courage. Have the courage to speak up, to act on behalf of others, to change what you think is wrong in this world. Courage is not the opposite of fear. We all live with fear. But it's conquering that fear and making it propel you forward that makes one courageous. We have seen evidence of incredible courage this week in Moore, Oklahoma, and a few weeks ago in Sandy Hook, Connecticut. The teachers and parents who covered their children with their own bodies during nature's most vicious storm and during a random act of violence were truly courageous. The first responders at the Boston Marathon who ran toward the bomb site to help others, not away from it, are people we think of when we think of courage. This weekend, we will honor members of the armed services who gave the ultimate sacrifice for our protection. Courage is a word they live by. However, courage is all around you today. We have students among us who have demonstrated this past year what courage means. A classmate, Katie McBurnett, came to class doing her work in spite of such overwhelming health issues that finally forced her body to give up, but she never did. We have students in this audience right now who are cancer survivors, who have coped with this condition for years. There are others who were hospitalized, in some cases repeatedly. And every time they stood back up and simply moved forward with a grace far beyond their years. We have other students who faced great apprehension as they developed their own personal identity, and certainly had to have the courage to be open with others and face possible rejection. And yet they kept moving forward, and they are here today. Some without the support of a family, but on their own determination. Nelson Mandela, a man who faced some of life's most difficult challenges, said, "I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man or woman who is not one who does not feel afraid, but one who conquers that fear." Those students I just talked about will walk across this stage today truly demonstrating courage. But all of you have faced setbacks, times when you were discouraged, times when you needed the courage to keep going, and you can all say to yourselves, I looked my fears in the face, I succeeded, and now I can take on the next thing that comes along. That is what I hope Hanover has done for you, given you the strength of your convictions and the tools with which to be courageous. Have the courage to act when necessary and to speak out when the time calls for it. No matter what our political views, we are all frustrated with politicians who say one thing and then vote another to save votes for themselves. Have the courage to call out injustices when you see them. Martin Luther King said the worst thing one could do would be to remain silent. His observation has always stayed with me when he said, history will have to record that the greatest tragedy of this period of social transition was not the strident clamor of bad people, but the appalling silence of good people. Do not remain silent. Your Hanover liberal arts education has prepared you for more than a career, as Phil Scott has just demonstrated. It has prepared you to take a leadership role in society. Have the courage to follow your heart, and our hearts will go with you. Thank you for sharing so much of your experience with me. And now, Dean Jobe, will you please recognize one of our retiring faculty members and then present the class of 2013 for conferral of degrees.
Good afternoon to everyone, and welcome to all of our guests, and of course, congratulations to our graduates. Commencement every May brings a new class of graduates for whom this time is one of recognition, of celebration, but also of separation. And occasionally, those things, recognition, celebration, and separation, extend as well to members of the college faculty. At this time, let me ask that Professor Barbara Oni Garvey of the Department of Communication please come forward. Professor Garvey participates today in her 36th and final Hanover Commencement ceremony. Her long and distinguished career as teacher, advisor, mentor, role model, scholar, colleague, friend is better measured in students than in years, but that number is too high to calculate. And there's no meaningful way to quantify the depth and the breadth of the influence and the impression that Professor Garvey has made upon all of those students. In recognition of and appreciation for her service, the Hanover College Board of Trustees has voted to confer upon Barbara Garvey the distinction of Professor Emerita. Philip Scott, chairman of the board, will now present you with a medal that is a token of that recognition. And with a little bit of super glue, this medal will serve nicely as a hood ornament as you and your husband Mike embark on a cross-country trip along Route 66. Professor Garvey will continue to represent the college all across the nation. On behalf of the college, on behalf of your colleagues, and on behalf of your many students, I congratulate you, I thank you, and I wish you all the best. President DeWine, I present to you 207 members of the graduating class of 2013. Of these, 30 have earned their degrees with honors, 16 with high honors, and 3 with highest honors. The candidates whose names appear on the program have been recommended by the faculty and duly approved by the Board of Trustees for the degree of Bachelor of Arts from Hanover College. Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts please rise? President DeWine, I am pleased to present to you the class of 2013 for the conferral of degrees.
Candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts, upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Hanover College, I now confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. As a symbol of your honor and achievement, I will now present your diploma.
Will the Will the candidates please come forward to receive their diplomas? I ask that we hold our applause until all diplomas have been awarded. Lydia Noel Anderson. Jared R. Aris. Richard Christian Armstrong. Jeffrey Allen Arrowwood. Michael Afosu Asaek. Blaze William Ayers. Andrew Michael Bates. Jameson Mackenzie Bell. Anne Elizabeth Bertoli. Erica Eileen Bewley. Shane Austin Bielko. Kenneth Bigelow. Nathaniel Blanchard. Christopher R. Blankman. Bryn B. Blomberg. Dylan Austin Bowen. Caitlin Sue Bowman. Emily Ann Boyd. Catherine Ann Brewer. Ashley I. Brinkman. Ashley Elizabeth Birakevich. Jessica Lynn Caldwell. Shanna K. Cameron. Andrea Lynn Chipman. Lauren Nicole Clark. Clarence Ledenor. Nikki Cohen Bird. Jose Armando Colon. Allison M. Craig. Jordan M. Craig. Vaughn Anthony Krapser. Mona A. DeJohnny. Andrew Jacob Dalton. Jessica Lee Davidson. Andrea Marie Deutsch. Joshua M. DeWise. Marissa Lee Disbro. Danielle Dixon. Heather Nicole Dombrowski. Marcus Evan L. Matthew Tyler Irwin. Wayne Anthony Eubanks. James Richard Fair. Emily Nicole Fair. Megan Brianne Fisher. Cecilia Catherine Fife. Catherine Elizabeth Gayheimer. Joshua C. Gilb. Stephen Patrick Gilliam. Benjamin J. Glowinski. Ryan Gregory Goff. Ryan Thomas Grau. Shannon Renee Greeter. Brian Matthew Gunter. Madison Elizabeth Guy. Samuel Nicholas Hamblin. Bethany Lynn Hancock. Audrey Ellen Hanner. Anthony Harcourt. Cassidy Ray Sullivan Hearn. Emily Nicole Hempstead. Drake Matthew Hendricks. David N. Hyder II. Lisa M. Hopf. Clinton W. Horeen. Aaron Hosey. Samantha Jo Huffman. Ashley Dawn Hughes. Kyle Huntman. Krista Rose Hurak. Christopher Jenkins. Johnny C. Jones. Carrie Lynn Knauer. Stephen David Kuhn. Casey Ann Korniak. Sarah Brooke Lathrop. Victoria Adelaide Leedy. Christopher John Lewis. L. Sidney Ligon Williams. Megan Lynn. Samuel K. Lewis. Whitney Michelle Macon. Nicole L. Marquez. Andrew Colby McClung. Trent William McInich. Ellie McRoberts in absentia. Catherine Nicole Mead. Sherry Yolanda Menifee. Amanda Michelle Meredith. Julie Marie Miller. Kristen Hope Moore. Ellen Marie Morganette. Kendra Amanda Morin. Natalie Jill Morse. Caroline Michelle Mulhall. Elizabeth Mary Muller. Allison Lynn Munn. Matthew Stephen Murphy. Bridget Nicole Neal. Rosa Jean New. Amberly Newberry. Samantha May Nicholas. Jacob Stollard Noger. Crystal Doris Nugent. Ryan Oliver. Andrew Michael Oram. Cody Mitchell Osman. Devin Mason Parker. Daniel Marcellus Passafume. Andrea J. Paul Bonham. Tricia Pence. Mackenzie Lee Pfeiffer. Megan Beatrice Pointer. Courtney Dawn Prater. Stephanie Nicole Prophet. Sarah Annette Queeby. Ian Patrick Reggins. Christopher Raptis. Harry Lee Reeder, Jr. Cassandra Jones Remmel. Lindsay Danielle Roser. Nicholas David Rose. Brian A. Reuter. Morgan Celeste Rumpel. Emily Ann Runyon. Catherine Rush. Victoria Lynn Rutan. Lincoln Scaife. Aaron Schwartz. Kevin Andrew Sears. Anna Christine Selby. Megan Nicole Shelton. Abhimanyu Singh in absentia. Rachel Elizabeth Slade. Jeremy A. Smith. Aubrey Lynn Smitley. Andrew H. Snelling. Darlene Sobus. Age Marie Spalding. Austin Berkeley Stagman. Charles Alexander Taylor III. Zachary Taylor. Amanda Renee Trambaugh. Daniel Joseph Turnbow. Alexis Holly Danielle Bentz. Robert Kenneth Waldron IV. Samantha Renee Watkins. Catherine Waymeyer. Kyle Wenzel. Alex Mark West. Mary Catherine West. Michelle R. Wheeler. Douglas Tyler White. Andrew Forrest Wibbles. Sarah Marie Willis. Robert Joel Wuschleger III. Amanda Sue Wolski. Colton James Zeck. President DeWine, the following members of the class of 2013 have earned their degrees cum laude. Jacqueline M. Armbruster. Patrick Rusty Blaker. Tiffany Ann Casillas. Jason Chisholm. Brian William Clemens. Megan Elizabeth Dawson. Brandon Lee Daub. Megan N. Geary. Brock Allen Harkness. Elizabeth Caitlin Hartman. Jessica Danielle Hines. Catlin Michelle Hogue. Nikale Sania Maestas. Kylie Rihanna Miller. Brian Jacob Nowicki. Curtis J. Ogle. Srijit Pant. Paige Elizabeth Petty. Gavin Wade Rock. Rebecca Elizabeth Roberts. Brian Robertson. Brittany Nicole Sappenfield. Sophia Isabella Secord. Sophia Isabella Secord. Devin Michael Sharp. Sarah Jane Shaw. Elizabeth Michelle Sparks. Grace Ellen Stevenson. Joseph M. Todd. Aaron James Westmoreland. Guyu Yi. President DeWine, the following members of the class of 2013 have earned their degrees magna cum laude. Shannon Ray Baker. Shelby Bennett. Chris Andrew Brewer. Elsie Diane Daly. Jason Eric Dorman. Kimberly Mei Ling Fong. Scott Robert Gilday. Courtney Jane Jeffries. Stacy Amber Lankite. Caitlin McCulloch. Kay Levi Milliron. Krista K. Mullenix. Margaret Hall Noger. June Trung Pham. Timothy Patrick Reedy IV. Nicholas Jared Taylor. President DeWine, the following three members of the class of 2013 have earned their degrees summa cum laude. Jennifer Elizabeth Dumaine. Cameron Dwayne Gender. Daniel Timothy McCormick. Please join me in recognizing the Hanover College class of 2013. Please join us now in singing the Alma Mater.
This concludes our 2013 commencement. We've been told there is a storm coming, so we would exit quickly. Please join us at the President's home if you have a chance. Safe travels today and for the rest of your life.
Talk loud. Holy One, walk with us from this place, ahead of us as a guide, behind us as a protector, beneath us as a foundation, above us as light, beside us as friend, and with us as love. Hem us in and call us on. Amen.